Morning. So today we are back with the man of Acreage. We've had a couple of days away and got myself all depressed at my house, which you've seen in the last video, and now I've come here to get depressed because we've had the same amount of rain here as we've had back at home, which has made a bit of a mess in places. So the track coming in, which we haven't had anything to do with, has all been churned up by the lorry that brought in pea gravel up the top for the drainage. The last day that we were here, we had all this 6F2 in, so that went really well. We had one driver on return, so we weren't sort of bringing too much in too quick for me to do anything with. Unfortunately, we had deliveries of all the drainage and the timber and the teram at the same time, so it did become a stressful day, but we got through it. So we laid the teram out here. So obviously last time you saw, we had stripped off this topsoil. We laid the teram out, and then basically what I've done, the first 3 wagons of 6F2, we reversed in right the way from the road all the way through. We've tipped them, well, we could basically tip them where you're standing now, pulled them back, and then once I've done that and got this bit of a T-piece in here, he was able to pull in, reverse round and up the track, and he just kept tipping as I've kept rolling back the teram and working my way backwards up the track. So it's not levelled yet. I've literally just pulled it roughly through so that when we weren't here we could have a couple more deliveries of material. So instead of messing around too much with this, because afterwards we're going to put some road planings on this so it'll be nice, tidy and finished. So instead of messing too much with this, because I've still got to pull the drain back down through, it's doing its job at the minute as a track, and I'm concentrating on the cut and fill at the top. So we'll go and have a look at that in a minute. But the field itself is actually holding up pretty well, except for that bit. That's the bit I'm worried about, because obviously we've got a fair amount of deliveries left to come in yet, and it has just started chewing that up. And the other side of that fence line, there's a big drop. So what I don't want to do is I don't want the ground to collapse and us lose, because we've got a telegraph pole there with all the electrics and internet and all sorts. So we're going to have a look up the top. So as we work our way up the track, obviously that was the little bit of hedgerow that we removed there that we're going to sort out afterwards. Then we've got power in the stable block there, so that power, then we've run a duct under the ground, under the track to this side, which we've just left on a stand post at the minute, because this is all going to be fenced in eventually, so that'll be for the electric fencing supply to that, because the fencing unit itself is in the stable block. I had a slight little accident with the gate post, I knocked that one over. So then up the side of the track, up this side here, we've got that French drain to put in. So what we'll do, we'll scrap that 6F2 off, drop it on the side, scrap the channel out for the drain, put the drain in, drop the pea gravel in, and brush that 6F2 back over the top, and then track that in. And then we'll fully level the track all the way down to the bottom, including the parking area for the poo trailer and the T-piece. And then we can sort these levels out up here then. So basically then this is where we're up to with the cut and fill. So we're probably a little over halfway now. You can see we're cut into the bank by just over 1 metre or so at the back there. So fencing down that side of the arena is going to be quite entertaining, because we're sort of hitting the rock level as we go through. In fact, this side will be quite entertaining as well, because this is the fill side. So where we're taking that decent material, we're bringing it across and we're tracking it in. Because we've had so much rain, we're squishing the water out of it at the minute. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave that rough finish as it is now. Hopefully, if the sun stays out today, tomorrow I'll jump back on that, I'll trim it through properly, track it in, get it rolled, and that should be good. We've got to crack on, because we've got the fencer coming on Monday to do the fencing around the arena. So we want to get all the cut and fill done. All the excess material we don't want, we want up in that wildlife bund in the corner that we're creating. And as a minimum, I need that top drain, the top French drain that we've got to go on this top side of the site, that needs to be in, because that's on the outside of the arena fence, but on the inside of where we're going to put a chamfer to chamfer that or batter that bank back up. So loads to do, and only got 2 days to do that. We've had a delivery as well of the actual arena surface, which we're going to have a look at. So basically this is what the arena surface will be, and what it is carpet fibres. So the carpet has basically been shredded up into tiny little pieces, and then they're put into these bales. So they go into a machine, they're compacted, they're wrapped, steel banded together. So when I take them steel bands off, when we come to put them in the arena, they'll go and explode sort of and go big, because they're all compacted so much at the minute. So that is the surface. which I think is a brilliant idea because basically it is recycling Auntie Doris's old carpets and making a good use of them. Okay, so we are end of day 4 now, so bearing in mind we've been short-staffed on this job, but today we've had to bring some extra help in because tomorrow we've got the fencing contractor starting, which he's coming to do the arena fencing basically. So we need the arena fencing in with the kickboards on, so then we can put the base stone down on the floor, which goes up to the kickboards, and then obviously we put the tram on the top and then the surface. We've got to make sure we've got all the cut done, we've got the chamfer knocked off, or the bulk of it done on that side, which is that chamfer through there. And then we've got to get at least that run of French drain in with the laterals coming off it, because that would be the far side of the fence. So we need that in before he puts the fence up. That French drain's going to come across the top there at the bottom of the chamfer. We've got a little bit of a ramp there so we can access the top paddock. That'll be, again, stoned through with a road planings topping. And that French drain will come across to the corner, through to the corner of the site there, and if you spin round, it comes down here and through in a straight line, straight down the side of that hedgerow. And Wayne has been working at the bottom, so he has exposed the existing concrete ring manhole. He has cored the hole into it, we've sent the drainage round, we've benched that up, so it's all finished nice and neat. Ash has then backfilled it with pea gravel, capped the stone off, and now he's just running in the soil on the top of this bank up on the side. So that's all pretty much finished. I wanted this connected up so if we have a right downpour, which is due tomorrow lunchtime, it's going to catch and get rid of it rather than saturate what we're trying to work in. So just before we sign off, there's something I want to add, because a friend of ours, Amy Underwood, the digger girl, has got her own YouTube channel, and I've been watching few of her videos, and there was one on there where she said with a rotor tilt you don't need a labourer. Well, that was on Instagram. I don't need a labourer either, because look, boom. I am mad. So in the second video that I've seen, she was playing digger netball. So basically she got a digger, a ball was being thrown into the bucket and she was spinning round and dropping it into the dumper. About 45 minutes, I think she scored about 3 balls into the dumper. Now, you might be able to play netball with a digger, Amy, but can you play volleyball like we can? So picture now, we've got Top Gun music in the background, there's abs absolutely everywhere, it's red hot, and we are playing digger volleyball. So there we go. We have thrown down the gauntlet with you, Miss Underwood, and let's see what you come back with. If you like what you've seen, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and we'll catch you guys next time and leave you with a Man of Acreage montage.